Trust the profits. It's the formula here with Mortal Kappers number 2, and I am joined by Barry the Sniper. Barry, how you doing today?
Good, hanging in there. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Know you're at Notorious OTB. For
Yes,
anyone
sir.
watching us on YouTube, and if you're watching this somewhere else, I'd love to know where. Go ahead and type in Notorious OTB and give them a follow, give them a subscribe. It is well worth it. Entertaining and great picks. Yeah, I'll plug them all day long. Barry, anything else you want to plug? Anything going on?
Yeah, doing a little work with DRF, doing
Oh,
some things SoCal Saturday with Louis Rabot and Horse Racing Happy Hour. So we do that every Friday for the Saturday Santa Anita card. So doing a little of that and going to the Wood Memorial. So I haven't been to Aqueduct since I was in high school.
oh wow. Cool, cool. Very nice. Very nice. Awesome. We'll check out Barry at those venues, DRF. Very cool stuff. Let's move along, shall we? What do I got next here? Oh,
Ooh.
hitting a sore spot right here. I know, I know. Oh, I don't remember it going down quite like this, but this is what the Wolf had in store for me with his finishing move. Gonna have to get revenge. I don't think it was as bad as the picture shows because I'm still right here. I can still pull
Right.
this
You
off.
know,
Um, yeah, we all plug in another quarter and we move on, right? That's how it works. All right. So moving on from that, high scores. Yes, Wolf of Oaklawn did defeat me. He's got one in the win column. I've got one in the loss column. Sniper is up for his first.
right. The game
Yeah,
within the game.
the game within the game. The game. Yes, exactly. You got it right the first time. I don't have to improve on that at all. Rules. There are no rules except for these rules. If you do want to come on Mortal Cappers, provide your own avatar. If you do not, the court will appoint you one and you may not like it. Each participant is going to start with 100 Shroot bucks.
This is a Shroot buck.
That's right, because I hate the term mythical dollars or whatever the horse racing community uses. It's a little pet peeve of mine. So we're going with Shroot bucks today. Placing wagers across any race you want. Doesn't have to be every race, could be all in one race on one horse. But it has to be on the card that we settled on, and we did settle on Oaklawn Park for Arkansas Derby Day. If a horse is scratched, you get a refund on that. It'll become part of your winnings. There are a couple exceptions or nuggets to that. If you place a bet on some sort of exact or trifecta and you got multiple horses in and the exacta can still play out, you get a refund on part of that, but you still get to play the exacta with what's left over. And again, if you're going horizontals, if you're doing a pick three, and you get a horse scratching out of that, you will get the post time favorite, as is the case at most parks. Once we record, the bets are locked in. The bets have been locked in since Barry sent me his. I locked in because I don't want to change after seeing what he picked. The winner is whoever gets the most Shroot bucks at the end of this, including refunds at the end of the card, and the winner gets to post the finishing move, like you just saw. So, Barry, you know how this works. I see the stand up game in back of you there.
There you
I got two
go.
quarters here. I'm gonna plug them in, and then the game starts up like such.
Crystal Office presents Mortal Kappers. Round 1. The Formula vs. Sniper. Fight!
All right. We both started off punching in round one here. How's this going to go? Yeah. So why don't you break down your bet first? You did yourself a little daily double here.
Yeah, this first race is a just a start allowance, $10,000 going a mile uh, at Oaklawn, and I wanted to use two horses, or I did use two horses that will be forwardly placed because the pace seems a little murky here. um,
Yeah.
so I took non-favorites, obviously. That's kind of my thing. So
Yeah.
I took number 3. Ooh, can't get the name. Ember, and then
Ember. Yep.
number 5, Mad Adam, on top here in $5 doubles going into race 2.
Awesome. And in race two, you got Bon Temps.
Yeah, I used Bon Top. It's a maiden special weight uh, for going 6 furlongs, and Bon Top ran against a whole bunch of really good horses, including Coal Battle, Speed King,
Yes.
horses that everybody's familiar with, Donut God, and didn't embarrass himself. Drops in for this to try to break the maiden.
Yep.
I don't really see too much in here that could really beat this horse, at least the ones that have
Yeah.
run. So I thought he was a logical, good choice in the second race. And 9-2, which I don't think we'll get, but
Yeah.
still a likely winner, I think.
Yeah. He ran in Smarty Jones and Southwest Stakes. I remember this name of this horse, and he was an insta scratch for me in both times, but he did a little bit better than I expected. I don't think he was dead last in both. I
Yeah, the
could be
Smarty
wrong on
Jones, he
that.
ran pretty good.
Right.
Finished fourth.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was, I think, close to the pace for a good chunk of the race too. He was trying to keep up there, if not get ahead of the pack. So yeah, very good pick there. So Ember, I've got Ember in my trifecta key box here. I was toying with Matt Adam too, and the fact that you plugged him in there made me a little bit upset. But I am going with a I do like to do this. This is one of my moves. I do like to do a trifecta key box. Keen, one horse here that can fall into first, second, or third. In this case, I got executive action. So executive action, I've got a really good score on him. So horse that in 10 races, 8 times in the money. I like him at the park as well. 5 wins there. And you're getting 6-1 morning line on him. So I thought that's a heck of a value to get on that horse there. Hess, getting 20-1 value on him. I've got him as having the best win of this group. And last race out, I have it rated as the third best of this group. I also dig the race times that this horse has been running as well. And then I do have Ember in there. You mentioned Ember, 3 wins and 10 starts, 9 times in the money, and you're getting them at 9-2. I did throw Cash Me Up in there, and I almost threw Mad Adam in. I was looking at Cash Me Up, thinking if that's the one that breaks my sequence here for a trifecta, I'm going to kick myself because he's below 2-1. For a lot of people, that seems obvious, but I've got him as having the best last start, the best race times overall, and he's good at the park. So I thought, okay, I got to throw some chalk in there. But I do have enough longs in here to think that if I do cash out this 50-cent trifecta, it should be of some sort of value here.
Yeah, I thought Hess. I almost put Hess on my ticket,
Yeah.
but I didn't. Didn't make the cut.
Seems way better than 20-1, and I'm curious to see what the public does with Hess too.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because the horse was running state breds and then stepped up in the non-winners of 3, but this
Yeah.
step up isn't really that much difference. So 20-1 is generous.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, what else we say about this horse? Yeah, in terms of closers, we're going 9 furlongs here. You mentioned there not being much pace. There's a couple I could see setting the pace, especially the 2 on the outside. And Hess is one that, if the pace did get a little hot or after 9 furlongs, there's a little bit of wear down. I think he's the best horse to close, and he's not going to be sitting too far back either. So, all right, let's move along. What do we got for race 2? A big nothing. So, what do we do for nothing? Gotta love the classic walking it in your face and no one's punching. So race 2, race 3, we got more of the same. Race 4, now we're getting a little bit interesting here. Oh, this burned me too. As soon as I saw your picks, I'm like, oh, you
Oh,
can't be doing me like that with Pharaoh's Heart. Come on. So go ahead and walk me through what you got here with this. Oh, hold on. I can do a combo here for you. There you go. Since you're doing two plays here with Pharaoh's Heart, I figure that constitutes as a combo. Go ahead and walk me through this.
nice. Yeah, this race 4 is a $35,000 optional claimer for fillies going 6 furlongs on the main. Now, I like Pharaoh's Heart in here quite a bit. This horse was running at a higher level and doing way, way better. I really don't think that 12-1 is going to stick, but I don't think this horse is going to be favored either. I think this horse will take a little money because of Flavian Pratt.
Yeah.
But all signs to me indicate this horse is probably going to run a big race. Um, last January ran very, very, very well. Then Didn't show up until December of the same year in 2024. Didn't run that bad off the bench, and then has been slowly progressing ever since. The buyers have been kind of going up, and I think there's enough in here to where this horse is going to get a good trip. So we placed a $15 win bet on Pharaoh's Heart here, and then we're also going to do exactas with the 8 Edistrudis, the 10 Dealing Justice, and the 12 She Called underneath. So we're kind of tipping our hand that we like Pharaoh's Heart quite a bit here.
Yeah, I see it. I see it, especially at 12-1. Like you said, I don't think that's going to stick. Flavian Pratt being on the mount there. There's a lot to like about this horse. I think if I always look at these scores that I do for jockey trainers and sires, roll that all together, and having Jacobson, Pratt, and American Pharaoh, the scores for all three ended up being the highest score of all the horses in this race. So definitely grades out as being a better horse than you would expect at 12-1. 2 wins, 2 gate to wire wins in 12 races, 50% of the time in the money. Don't necessarily like the race times of this horse, but then again, it's we're splitting hairs there in comparison to the rest of this field for the most part. So I did something similar. I went exacta box, but I mean, you went exacta key, Keen, Pharaoh's Heart. I put Pharaoh's Heart in with a couple of other horses. You mentioned Estrudis. Thank you, or Edistrudis. Thank you for pronouncing that first.
I tried.
12-1. Yeah, I think it's better than I did. Yeah, I like that horse a lot. A horse that was getting closer to the pace, which is one of the indicators I look for. Getting a jockey upgrade at 12-1. I think that's a pretty good value there. Paparena I've got as a 4 horse in a 6 furlong race, a little bit of a closer, but I also like the race times, the way it raced the last time out. You got a couple horses that could be setting the pace. Shouldn't be too tough for this horse to be closing in this race, as long as he can't remember if this is males or females, but thank you. I figured it was. As long as she's a little bit closer than she has been the last couple races, sits 2 tiers back, 3 tiers back, shifts around a little bit, but with 6 furlongs, I think we'll be okay. And then the final horse I had in here, Ashburn Alley. That is, I believe, the morning line favorite, 5-2. A little bit of a closer, sits in about the same spot as the last horse, Paparena. Got some of the best speed figures, 3 races, 3 times in the money. So I figured that was, I'm hoping that's not the case, that this is the horse that's in there, but as long as it completes my box, then I'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a little safety play there. Moving on. All right, now I'm getting serious here. Maybe stupid, but I'm getting serious. So there is a linchpin coming up here that is either it's gonna make or break one of us, maybe me, because in one of the races coming up, we are both setting our sights on exactly one horse, and it is not the same horse. I think you probably know what I'm going with already. So with race 5, I have set myself up for a pick 3. I was trying to find a couple horses that I liked as singles before going into this. $1 pick 3 where I go 5-1-5. So in this race, I did pick a few different horses. There's definitely some in here with more value that I'm hoping to get. Mr. Butch, I think, is probably the most likely winner of the bunch, close with 409. You don't get a whole lot of value out of either one. 6-1 and 7-2, not horrible. But then we go God's Country, getting 4-1 there. The big thing I'm trying to do here is avoid Giant Moon. So Giant Moon is a firster. We're talking about a maiden special weight race. It's a short race too. I believe it's 6 furlongs. Yeah, 6 furlongs. A lot of people are going to jump on this horse because it's Flavian Pratt and it's Brad Cox, and I'm trying to play against that. It's also Gormley being the sire here. Decent, but not a sire that I see win in its first time a whole lot. And obviously we're putting Brad Cox and Flavian Pratt out there. Looking at the workouts, I'm not thrilled, and I think there's enough horses in here that could end up beating that horse. Going to 7 and 11 with Conway and Personal Jet. Got Conway as being the pace setter here, probably a pretty dominant pace setter, hoping that after one race, maybe figured out something in terms of how to run that pace all the way to the finish. uh, and maintain it. Personal Jet getting 20 to 1 here. There are a couple indicators that I liked about this horse. Third race, getting a jockey upgrade, getting 20 to 1 value here. So I'm really hoping to beat Giant Moon with one of these five. And then Almost Gone. One of the horses that I had is a safe single. Um, yeah, so this is a horse that has 3 wins in 3 races, sits pretty close to the pace. In the next race, it's going 6 furlongs. Brad Cox, Flavian Pratt, um, and Into Mischief. So a combo, 2/3 of that combo, I'm saying I'm going against last race, but I'm jumping on top of this race. And then in race 7, you're going to hear this again. So Navy SEAL, Zambezi, um, Disco Ball, the favorite outlaw, Echo again. I'm trying to, I know I'm going to get Super Chalk in the 6. I'm hoping to get some sort of value here. So horses like Navy SEAL at 10 to 1, Echo again, who I've always really liked at 10 to 1. Hoping to pick up one of those there, along with maybe something in race 5. Any thoughts on this race?
Not really. I mean, I think you kind of hit on it that Brad Cox does win a lot of those kind of races,
He
and
does.
it's hard to kind of get around it. But when you can, it's always a huge bonus because his horse is always a bet.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if he puts Flavian Pratt on a horse,
Hmm.
that horse is going to get bet down. It's already 5 to 2. So I'm hoping he sticks around for second, but not first. All
Yeah.
right. Now here comes the big one. I'll let you start with this with Lady Moscato.
All right. So yeah, um, with that same idea that you had in the 5th race, I have in the 6th race. I want to try to beat Almost Gone Rocket uh, because of the fact that this horse hasn't run since last June, and there's other speeds in here, namely the inside horse Benedetta and Holly Dolly has some zip, and even Hall and Ice, the 6 horse. So obviously, Almost Gone Rocket will probably not go head and head with these horses, but just the fact that there's going to be a hot pace up front might set it up for a horse like the one I picked, Lady Moscato.
Yeah.
Has a really good closing kick. Doesn't have the buyer numbers to match Almost Gone Rocket, but I think the equalizer is the pace scenario. And Lady Moscato's been running against really, really good company. You see Bright Work in there, Miss Justify, Mystic Lake, even Paparina, who runs later, beat this horse first time out. So been running against some pretty decent horses, and the last time just didn't get a good setup. I think this is a much better setup, and Keith Asmussen, we need him on the coach's horse to the hoop.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I noticed about that horse as you were talking through it, you said didn't have the buyer figures. I usually pull in BreezeNet just based on the data pack that I can pull in and be able to shift things around in my spreadsheets. One thing I noticed is this horse, in terms of running at Oaklawn, pretty much matches Almost Gone Rocket in terms of speed figures. So it's traveled around a lot. But yeah, in terms of BreezeNet figures, at least, is matching at Oaklawn.
Yeah,
So
I noticed that she had like her best races really have come at Oaklawn too.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
look through the
So
past
maybe
performances, all of her best races have come at Oaklawn. So this is probably a good situation.
yeah,
And
yeah,
there's a bullet on March 19th. So that's why I say hey, things are looking in the right direction for a horse that's 12 to 1 on the morning line. I gotta take a shot.
very cool, very cool. Good luck with that. Although I hope you get second place. Anyway, moving on to my pick 3. This time I'm doing a $4 pick 3 because I am doing singles on both ends with a 5 in the middle, Almost Gone Rocket, and then everyone in race 7 that I talked about already that I like. And then I'm putting Saudi Crown on the back end. I looked at that race. I know I lost with Saudi Crown last time, but damn it, I can't get enough Saudi Crown. So I
I'm
am
with you
sticking
because
with
I,
that one.
I I played that horse in the Pegasus too. That-
Exactly. Exactly. I think we were all aboard Saudi Crown, and I still don't trust Banishing in a race like this. And Banishing, for whatever reason, still has like a huge number, huge morning line. But yeah. All right. So that is my pick 3. Moving on, you got yourself a win and a daily double coming up here. Tell me
Yep.
more.
And this will close me out too.
I think so.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, no more shroot bucks. uh, I took the 3 clear the air in race number 7, which is a 62,000 non optional claimer, 6 furlongs, and on paper there looks to be a ton of speed in this race. Um, and I basically went with horses that have shown speed in the past, but I think can rate. And they all happen to be long shots, 10 to 1 and higher. And I placed the $20 win bet or $10 win bet on Clear the Air. Um, this horse has some really good races to go back to last year and just kind of getting started this year. This is the 3rd start in the form cycle and coming off of the Tapeta, which is the quote unquote dirty little pig boy angle that my counterpart, the Wolf of Oaklawn, likes to use. And I think this horse just didn't want any part of that Tapeta. And the horse really has never run really good on it. Won a race on it or 2, and both times just overmatched the competition. This is a much better spot, much better pace scenario for Clear the Air. So we're going to place the $10 win bet on the 20 to 1 Clear the Air. And then we're going to use doubles with the other long shots I like. So we're going to use Clear the Air, the 6 Echo again. Norm Cassie has this one second off the bench. And the 8 Carboni at 20 to 1 morning line.
Not Carboni. Not Carboni. 1 second here. Double click there. Carboni. I just want to jump in real quick and say we've all had horses that break our heart from time to time. And I thought I could get over Carboni and almost put him in the previous pick 3s that I had. And I talked myself out of it. I said, no, we've moved on past Carboni. Carboni has disappointed us too many times since those first 2 races, win, thinking, oh yeah, this horse is on the Derby trail. Maybe. Yeah. So anyway, when I saw you
Yeah,
pick Carboni, I thought, oh no, it's going to happen. It's going to
this
happen.
is such a super better spot for this horse in a long
It
time.
is. Yeah.
Running against Nash, Sees the Gray, Raging Torrent. These horses are top notch. Mystic Dan. And I think running against those horses kind of discouraged this horse from being good. And now this horse is back with his friends, and I think there might be a turnaround. So we'll give him a shot here. Obviously not
Interesting.
the strongest play in the world for me,
Yeah.
but I think there's situations where he's gonna run well in this spot. So we'll give him
Yeah.
a shot here.
And getting 20 to 1 too. And
Right.
based on the horses that are in this race, like Disco Ball and even Echo again, right? I think some of these horses, based on the recent past performances for Carboni, are probably going to draw more money. Carboni's not taking money anymore because he's getting like 5th place finishes, right? So if he's due for a rebound, this could be a pretty sweet pick for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, just to kind of he's one of those horses that a lot of people know about and think is okay, but might not be able to run anymore just because his last like 6 races. But
Yeah.
if you dig a little deeper, he was going a little bit longer. He was facing better competition. Now this is probably the best spot he's been in a while. So I'll give
Yeah.
him a shot. 20 to 1, I got to give him a shot.
I get it. I get it. I almost did as well. So when you did it, I thought, oh man, maybe I missed the train on this. Barry's taking him. I should have dug deeper, but
Yeah,
you're
and
right.
then the last race was really straightforward. I mean, the only 2 horses I could come up with would be Saudi Crown and the Wine Steward. I think the Wine Steward is a really, really, really nice horse. It's just
Yes.
unfortunate he doesn't get to run a whole lot. But seeing him come back in this spot is encouraging. Means he's probably doing well and gets one of the top riders out right now in Jose
Yeah.
Ortiz. It's a good situation. So we're going to use both of them to finish out with my $5 double.
Yeah. Last year's Derby Trail, I really did start to
I
like the
liked him
Wine
a lot.
Steward.
I
Yeah.
liked him a
Same
lot.
here. Yeah.
In
All
fact,
right. Go
I
ahead.
want to say that he was my Derby hopeful, and then he
Yeah.
just kind of went left because he ran really good at Keeneland, and then we didn't see him until Lexington, and then he kind of battled Encino, needed that race, and then he was kind of spotty from there. We really didn't see
Right.
him. So
Yeah,
hopefully he's got his act together.
he had a long layoff, and we all have those. I mean, we just talked about Carbone. We all have those January, December horses that we sort of fall in love with pre-Derby, thinking, let's just get to May. Let's get to May with this one. And yeah, the Wine Steward was up there on our early January list, I believe, at one point.
Yeah, he just didn't get started. I mean, he didn't even get a start until April.
Right, right. Something set him back, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think we got a few more for me that I can talk through. Not with race 8. So for race 8, yeah, bunch of misses. Nothing going on there. Race 9, still moving. Attaché in race 10. All right. So what do we have here? So we're talking about the Eclipse? 6 furlongs. I got a real high score here on Attaché. In terms of class, there's a couple horses that do show a little bit more class, but for the most part, Attaché is right there. Usually sits just off the pace, maybe a few tiers back. 4 wins in 10 races, 7 times in the money. I like the race times from this horse. I love the fact that I'm getting 15-1 on him. Luan Machado, who I think is an underrated jockey. People kind of know him for standing up early, among other things. 9 slot here. I really like Attaché, 15-1. So I had $5 at one point, and I said, okay, we're gonna put it on this horse and see what happens.
Hey, worth a shot. It's a wide open race. I thought it was too tough for me, so I didn't go for it.
I did not care for any of the chalk. Was this Wenless something? Wenlesson, yeah, like Mendelssohn,
yeah.
Wendelson. There we go. Wasn't thrilled with him. Happy American and Durante, not so much. Maybe a little bit Osborne. I love Just Steel, but I'm waiting to see him get back on track. I'm not completely sold on him just yet. Get Her Number, I was kind of excited about Get Her Number, and then I started looking at recent performances and I stepped back a little bit. Attaché just sort of stepped up and became the horse that I liked a little bit better, and I thought, hey, we're getting a price, so let's see if we can score some points here.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they even brought Get Her Number back. I know he's a gelding, and that's probably most of it.
Yeah,
but we hadn't seen the horse in a long time, and he was running pretty good before we saw him, go to the bench. But
yeah, had some good races for sure. Next up, we've got the American Pharaoh. Probably a lot of names that people are going to recognize. A bunch of horses that have scratched out in the past couple of weeks, especially in Tampa Bay. Bishop's Bay, Ben Duke, Magical Tap, Liberal Arts, I'm McDreamy, Maycox Bay, Honor Marie. I went with Liberal Arts here with an $8 win. Liberal Arts opening up at 10-1 has been pretty hot since Brad Cox has taken over with Liberal Arts. So I was extremely surprised to see that this one opens at 10-1. Don't think it's going to sit there. But again, Brad Cox also has Bishop's Bay in there. Flavian Pratt's on Bishop's Bay. But I'm also looking at the speed profile here. There's a couple horses I could see getting into battles. Bishop's Bay, Maycox Bay, all the bays getting into a battle. Even Ben Duke, I think, could get into a little bit of a battle here. I'm McDreamy. I'm McDreamy's in a couple different races here. I think he's stretched out across a few. So if he scratches out of the other one and finds his way into this one, could also get into a pace battle. Liberal Arts could just be lined up for a huge closeout here, 8.5 furlongs. And if he sticks around at 10-1 because he's Brad Cox number 2, some significant value there. What do you think of this race?
Same. I had basically Honor Marie and Liberal Arts as kind of the top 2 in this race. Honor Marie, I would give a little bit of an edge just because of the class and then the cutback and the rider switch. So
yeah,
the thing about Jose Ortiz is he understands pace very, very well. And he's going to know to get this horse kind of into the race a little bit earlier. I mean, there's a possibility that Honor Marie needs a race. So that's why I kind of didn't use this race, but I do like that one and your horse.
Cool. Yeah, Jose's been on fire lately. Cannot doubt that. Next up, race 12. Got nothing there. What race is this? Fantasy. So yeah, I don't have anything to note here.
Nothing.
Nothing. Race 13. All right, so here we go. A little bit of controversy time. Comment section, get your guns ready. So you can tell what I did here by who I left off. Cornucopian. I am not as sold as HRT or the comment section is on Cornucopian. This is a horse that I get it. There's the whole Bob Baffert thing, dropping horses in February, having them break their maiden right away, and then finding their way to, you know, to Derby glory. Justify being the big one. Charlatan could have possibly been the another one. I think a lot of people are using that model to throw Cornucopian in. I don't think it necessarily works here, though. I think there's still too many unknowns. I don't think you can put him in that box just yet. I'm going to play an exacta box and try to beat him with mainly a bunch of closers here because I do think that there could be some pace issues here for Cornucopian, especially with Speed King in that race. Speed King, a horse that doesn't mind burning out a pace. And at 9 furlongs, Cornucopian going from 6 furlongs to 9 furlongs, people are blowing their heads up about, oh, Cornucopian, did you see him in that 6 furlong workout? Yeah, that's great. He's going to have to run 9 furlongs on Saturday. So I'm taking a risk here. I like Sandman a lot. Cole Battle's there. I like Publisher a lot too. And I'm throwing in First Division, trying to make some sort of magic happen there with an exacta box.
Good deal. I mean, the thing about Cornucopian and Bob Baffert is when his horses run, they typically don't have jumps up in buyer speed figures. I use buyers a lot. Sorry, I
Yeah,
have to preface
sure.
that.
No.
But they don't really jump up a lot, speed figure wise. They
Yeah.
usually come out fast and they stay fast.
Yeah.
So that's a feather in Cornucopian's cap. But
Yeah.
like you said, going 9 panels, first time, second time out. Taba did it and won the
Yeah.
Santa Diva Derby. But you saw what happened to that horse. He kind of tailed off and needed his 4-year-old season a little bit to kind of get back into it.
Right.
And that might be the same kind of situation here is they're kind of rushing this horse into this race. And I would doubt what kind of performance we will get. But in my estimation, I think Sandman is ready to kind of break through. This
Right.
this race really sets up for Sandman, I think, or Publisher, one of those two. But I think Publisher's problem is that horse kind of gets going a little too late and probably would
Too late.
want like a mile and a quarter. But the problem is they got to qualify to get into that race, and
Yeah.
this horse
Yeah.
hasn't been able to do it.
Yeah, I do like Publish here a lot as well. Both horses, I think this is a good chance for either one, like especially Sandman though. I mean,
Mm.
we've seen horses like this on the Derby Trail before where, getting second and third, just waiting for them to pop off and get that big first stakes win. And it feels like the right time for Sandman. Cornucopian be damned, right?
Yeah, I mean he's had some bad luck in a couple of these races and was bet down to favoritism last time
Yeah,
in the Rebel, and didn't get the greatest of trips. So I can give him a pass on that last one because all his other
for sure.
races have been pretty good. I saw this horse break his maiden at Saratoga back in August, and I I thought he was okay that day. He beat a pretty
Yeah.
good field with Innovator that day, and
Yeah.
I really wasn't sure. And lo and behold, he ends up on the Derby Trail. So, but his races, he seems to be improving, and that's what you want to
Yes.
see around this time of year.
Yeah. I feel like he's definitely going to be a Derby play for me somewhere. Whether it's to win or not, I don't know, but it seems like he's going to be a horse that you don't want to leave off when the Derby comes around.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
he's kept the great company, the best in this generation of the 3-year-olds. So
Yep.
he's battle tested. He just needs to kind of get over that hump. I like the fact that he's run 5 races at a mile or over. That
Yeah.
that bottom is really key in these, for the Derby because like we were talking about with Cornucopian, what kind of foundation does this horse have to run that far?
Yeah.
None. I
Yeah.
mean, it's almost like a complete toss when it comes to the Derby. I mean, this horse could essentially win this race and not win the Derby.
Oh, for
But
sure.
it's a tough task. a lot to ask for a young horse like this.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, he's resting on, his
Talent.
father, right?
Yeah, just his
Talent, his
talent.
father.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Okay. And then we're moving on to race 14. I do have one play left here in race 14. This is a horse that I've been in love with for a while. Lat Long. I am going to do a
Oh yeah.
trifecta key box. Lat Long. This is a horse that always finds his way into the money, it seems. In last 10 races, 8 times in the money, 1 win. And in this class here, I feel like he definitely outclasses the bunch. I like him along with Gun Party, who's given 15-1. I like Indie Magic right next to him, getting 15-1. Mark Cassie with Jose Ortiz. I think that's a great play right there. And then a little bit chalkier at 5-1, Ethan Energy. Is that a Brad Cox horse? Yes, Brad Cox with Flavian Pratt. So boxing these horses up, it's going to be my last pitch to catch up to here, Barry, is my trifecta key box here with Lat Long as the key.
Hey, the Hail Mary.
The
Hopefully,
Hail Mary.
it could be disastrous for one of us or both of us. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, who knows how it's going to happen. Yeah, there was one horse here that I was really interested in. I was going to try to box in Mambrino, Justify horse, looked to be the potential pace setter here, but was coming off of two wins in 2 races, but definitely classing up by quite a bit. But yeah, that was a horse that I was
Yeah,
curious about as
the
well.
only horse in this race that I kind of would like to have run well would be the 12 Dansamo if they run. I don't know if they're
Ah,
gonna. I thought that horse
yeah.
might be forwardly placed and kind of hang around.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a bit of a stalker there. Has some nice speed figures. Definitely agree with you there. All right, Barry, time to wrap it up. Let's see how we spent it. You were definitely forwardly placed here. Cashing out after race 7, said, I've done enough. My work here is done. I only need 7 races to make this happen. Whereas I spread out the peanut butter across, I think that's about 7 races there if I add it up right and look at the gaps. Maybe 8 races if I count right, but I don't feel like doing the math right now. We spent all our 100. We're getting ready for this weekend, this Saturday. And yeah, we'll tune into Chat GPT to see if we can create some sort of special finishing move here, if it'll
Absolutely.
allow us. Yes,
Spend all my
of course.
Shroot bucks and can't even get Shroot milk. What the hell? Or Shroot eggs. This is
Oh,
bullshit.
shrewd eggs. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got to find a local purveyor for those. So
Those are special eggs.
those
Special
are special
milk.
eggs. Special eggs. All right. So trust the profits here. This is the formula here with Barry. Thank you everyone for joining the 2nd edition of Mortal Kappers. Barry, thank you so much for joining, man. I
Hey,
appreciate you
thank you
jumping on
for
with me
having
here.
me. Yeah, this is
Absolutely.
fun. I can't wait
We'll do
to
this
see how
again.
this works. Yeah, we definitely have to.
Yeah. And we're hoping if this catches on, we do maybe some tournaments like this because that could be a lot of fun as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
Definitely. Absolutely.
all
I'm
right.
down. Pencil me in if you guys do that.
We'll do. We'll do. And we are out.